a vibrant energy coming off of the flower of that plant. That the yellow actually extends out from the plant a half an inch or more from there that I can see at least. So that's the living energy of this being, and it's a classic to me example of the limitation of our economic system. You know, we have an economic system that's based on scarcity, right? So the more we have of something, the less worth it has, to the point of becoming worthless when it becomes so abundant. So the air is worthless, you know, the land is worthless, the oceans are worthless, the weeds are worthless. And a lot of it we need to switch our minds and realize that the earth is abundant. And if we tap into that abundance, then we're not going to, that game of economics doesn't work so well, and that's why it has denigrated, one of the reasons it's denigrated the earth so much. And this being exemplifies it. I mean, it's so giving, so present. I remember at an event I was at 10, 12 years ago, I was in New Mexico, and there were literally millions of these beings there. And I thought, gosh, I'm just going to eat those. So for 3 days, I just ate flower heads. And wow, it was amazing. You know, normally the hara, our center, is down in here. It moved kind of up into my throat. I sort of felt I was on a tightrope or something like that. But it was an amazing experience. And this being, for me, exemplifies courage. Courage. And it's easy to remember when we remember the common name. What's the common name? Yeah. And what would a French person say? Dandelion, right? Tooth of the lion. We're a humor source all over the world by how we say words, by the way. It's funny. But mostly it's not negative. So the tooth of the lion. Tooth of the lion. Tooth of the lion. Right? Dandelion. It has another name too, right? Pissenlit. What does pissenlit mean? Piss in the bed, right? So this is an amazing diuretic. If you don't know what I'm talking about, make a strong tea of the leaves before you go to bed, and I'll guarantee you won't make it to the toilet. It's awesome as a diuretic, and maybe a lot of you know, well, why would I want to pee? Well, realize that you know, a lot of people in this society, if you go to any drugstore, you're going to see a whole aisle or shelf of diuretics, you know, prescription diuretics to help people urinate, because they're on other pharmaceuticals that mess with that, and so they need to take a diuretic. Now, if you buy a synthetic diuretic, comes with a potassium supplement to help, you know, balance out the body. And guess what? What plant has some of the highest potassium of any plant in the world? So this is sort of built in all together, you know. There's a lot of knowledge about this plant. Seven Song used to say to me that if people knew the true power of dandelion, it would be a rare plant. You know, which is kind of amusing to us here. But if you go to the tropics, you go to the desert, you don't see this plant. And I've actually been in Central America, Costa Rica, and in Peru, where they actually grow dandelion in their greenhouses with the same, you know, gusto that we grow basil or something like that, because they know the medicine of it. So it's really about shifting, you know, shifting. This is an entirely edible plant. The flowers, the stem, the leaf, the root, the seed. When this has already lost its seed head, but you could grab the seeds, flip them over, and eat them, and get your omegas and get protein and good energy from it. So it's a plant that's totally edible. Now it's in a family. It's important. It's good that we started with this family. This is the composite family. Okay, the composite family. Its genus is Taraxacum, and there's many different species of it. This is the most common one, Taraxacum officinale, which officinale means that it was the plant that was used in the apothecary in the medicine world. The composite family is the largest family in North America, the second largest family in the world. Anyone know what the largest family in the world is? Not something we have a lot of here. Orchids. So the largest family in the world is orchids, and this is the second largest family in the world. The largest family in North America. 1 in 7 plants in North America is in this family. So if in doubt, guess composite if you're not sure. The word composite comes because though this looks like a flower here, this is actually full of 100 or more different flowers that are all together in this composite of flowers. So everything in that family is a composite of many flowers. Now there's a few other families that have composites. So you can't just because it's composite doesn't mean it's a dandelion or a compositaceae or asteraceae. It has lots of medicine uses for the roots for cleaning your liver, cleaning your blood. Like I said, the leaves are a diuretic. Basically, it's just a plant to bring into your life as often as you can. You know, throw the leaves in your salad. Bitters are an interesting thing in our society. You can read a book by James Green called The Male Herbal. Excellent book. Men should read that. He has a whole chapter on bitters, realizing that bitters help us to grow up. You know, one of the things that our society does is keep us in an adolescent frame of mind. That's why they pump us with sweets and fats and keep us sort of googie, you know, wanting, you know, in that way. The bitters are what cause us to grow up, and they've been shunned a lot by our society. We have the bitter truth and the bitter end and the bitter enemy and the bitter side of life. But really, if you bring bitters in, then your ability to interact with all those terms, the bitter side of life and stuff like that, becomes stronger. And so really bringing bitters in is so important. And this is a beautiful medicinal bitter. It's not so hard. If you're in the mood, you can reach down now and look at one around and take a leaf and try it out. It's not a harsh bitter. It's a medicinal, relatively mild bitter. And just getting in the habit of putting a handful of those into your salads, in cooked greens, awesome bean to bring in. So it's here to help us. We brought it here from Europe when we came on purpose, for the purpose of having it for food and medicine, and we forgot that story along the way. So
well, I remember over in Connecticut I was visiting once, and some of the Italian people had still brought that over. They were out collecting
the crown. Yeah.
In the spring. Yeah.
Actually, exactly.
Yeah.
So this is the wisdom that we need to recognize that here's a food right here. Here's a medicine right here outside our door that we just trample over and don't even hardly notice.
Keep